Good morning, folks. Hi, Phil McPhail here with United Country Lifestyle Properties, Maine. Have you been searching for a large tract of land that's within a reasonable distance of Bangor and other services? Well, if you have, today we're going to take a look at 37 plus or minus acres over here in the town of Charleston on Bacon Road. This property could be used for a number of different uses, from residential use to recreational use. There's a little bit of timber on the property. There's some streams and wetlands. Very diverse property. Let's go take a look at it together today. We're out here on the road frontage on Bacon Road, and the property has, according to the tax records, a little over 700 feet. We scaled off the tax map of about 740 feet of frontage along Bacon Road. And right on this section of road, you will see communication lines running by, but the power is on both ends. So we've stepped off of Bacon Road into the interior of the lot here in Charleston. And right along the road here, we've got a lot of hardwood. We've got ash in here, some maple, some really, really large poplar, as you can see here. Ground's pretty level. I think probably this could have been pasture land 100 years ago. Wouldn't be surprised, there's a lot of farmland surrounding the property. As we get back onto the property, we're in here about 300 or 400 feet, and we're going to start transitioning into some cedar. A lot wetter ground back here. This isn't going to be good for building or farming, but it's a great place for wildlife. There's a ton of white-tailed deer sign in this property, which is not unusual. Charleston's pretty well known as an area of lots of white-tailed deer, and a lot of trophy deer are taken over here every year. But as you can see, some deer sign here. We're going to walk back here and see if we can find the brook. Well, we've made it back to Crooked Brook, and this brook flows through this property for about 700 feet, maybe a little more than that. Certainly, if you follow the contour of the stream, it's probably twice that. But this is a beautiful little brook. It's kind of a deep channel running through this area, cedar. I'm sure it's a year-round water source. The state or the U.S. Fish and Wildlife just put a culvertless bottom bridge, or a bottomless culvert, I should say, where it crosses Bacon Road to allow fish to have passage up through the brook. Nice little water feature, runs right through the property. As I walk back up towards the road from the brook, I just want to tell you a little bit about the location here in Charleston. We're about 14 miles from the nearest hospital, and that would be located in the town of Dover-Foxcroft. Dover-Foxcroft is the county seat of Piscataquis County. The city of Bangor is 22 miles from here. To get to I-95, the nearest access would be about 23 miles away, both in Bangor or Newport. Boston, if you're coming from Massachusetts north, that's about 230 miles, or 3 hours and 45 minutes roughly to the site. As you can see, walking up through here back towards the road, some beautiful big hardwoods. Pick your spot here, find a place that will pass a soil test, and build your little cabin or your year-round home. This is a year-round road. The road itself is a gravel road, but it's maintained year-round by the town of Charleston. No timber harvest has been done here probably in 100 years. I'm guessing that from the looks of the ground, this probably was some sort of farmland at one time. But beautiful piece of forest. And if you're a hunter or an outdoor recreation person, what can you do here? Well, the deer hunting in this area is fabulous. And because this is a heavily wooded section with a water feature surrounded by farm fields, I can almost guarantee you, if you set up your blind or your tree stand in the right location on this property, you're gonna get a good shot at some nice deer every year. A lot of times a 37-acre parcel I wouldn't consider big enough to be a great hunting property. I think this one is going to be the exception to the rule. Now we're back in here on the 37 acres. The elevations on this property, they vary from about 220 feet to 240 feet above sea level, with a high ground out here on Bacon Road. Like I said, there's excellent cell phone service strength here. If you're looking to work offline, you could do that. There is communication line by here. You'd have to extend the power probably 600-700 feet to this site for grid power unless you want to go off grid. The soils on this property are kind of a mixture, but about 50% of them are Pushaw, Swanville, and this is land that's often cleared for pasture, which I think this was. That type of soil does extremely well in pasture and also for growing trees like balsam fir, white pine, white cedar, white spruce, birches, and obviously it's doing pretty well with ash and maple and poplar as well. Points of interest in this area: we're only about 4 miles away from the Bud Levitt Wildlife Management Area. That's over 6,500 acres of public lands, open for a variety of recreational uses, from hunting and fishing and paddling. There's some streams that run through it. Much of it is upland forest. A lot of it was agricultural land at one time, and they still have some fields over there that they maintain for wildlife, for food for the wildlife. 13 miles from here is Browns Mill Park, and that's located in the town of Dover Foxcroft, with access for boating onto the Piscataquis River. There's also a trail network there for snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, and that park's about 36 acres. If you like boating on large lakes, the Sebec Lake, which is about 6,803 acres and 155 feet deep, the boat landing over and over is 17 miles from this location, and that's a nice landing where you can launch almost any size boat. And if you're looking for some cultural events, we're only 30 miles or half hour's drive over the University of Maine at Orono. That's the Maine University's flagship campus. And you got Division I sports there. You got a performing arts center. Take some classes at the university. You can be there in half an hour from here. Well, thank you folks for taking the tour with me here in Charleston, Maine today on Bacon Road on this 37 plus or minus acre site. Before we wrap up the video, don't forget, if you're new to our channel, hit that notification bell down below. Put on all notifications. You won't miss the next video that we put out. And please, if you would, give us a like and a share on this video. Let's talk about the price now. The price on this 37 acres is $55,000. We've got over 700 feet of road frontage. We got over 700 feet on the stream. We got some nice timber, some nice level ground to utilize for building. Year-round access on this road, all within 30 minutes of any utility or services that you're going to require. So if you got any other questions, you can give me a call, 800-286-6164. Ask for Phil. Looking forward to your call. Have a great day.